In this video I take you down to look at this really peculiar Thames Valley MRL. This lift is so weird. I have seen nothing quite like this. Now this lift uses the sort of equipment you often see on modernisations of like old express lifts, like when companies come along modernise these old sort of express and Benny lifts. That's the sort of stuff used in this MRL, but it's nothing like any other MRL I've seen. It's so odd. To start off with, taking a look inside the lift is completely boring. There's nothing whatsoever interesting about inside this lift, so there's no point bothering with that. So up to top floor, take a look at the logic cabinet. Now logic cabinet, you actually open it up with drop key with security slots. You have to have the right shaped drop key, and we're actually struggling to source these drop keys now because all the ones on Amazon are all the wrong shape to get through the security slot before you can actually unlatch your cabinet or unlatch your lift doors, and this is really annoying because of the lack of proper drop keys for sale at the moment. So open up logic cabinet and Thames Valley logic, the sort of logic you see in lift modernisations. You see logic, I've never seen it quite in this situation.
Oh, it does work.
Now let's open up the lift and take a look on top. Here we come to why this lift is so weird. So then, the lift tracks. It doesn't have tracks either side of the lift. The tracks are down the side where the motor is actually on the side of the shaft. So this lift is being pulled up on the side the whole way. It doesn't have tracks on both sides of the lift like you would do normally. So this lift is basically overhanging from the tracks, which is very weird. But it does mean that the tracks are in the position where the cable's attached to the lift, because it has 1-to-1 cabling, which is not as good as 2-to-1 cabling in an MRL this type. So the way it is laid out, it doesn't have a chassis, but the lift card does seem pretty sturdy actually. It doesn't feel weak, it does seem pretty good to see, and there's a lot of metalwork actually where the tracks are. So it's like it's got a chassis down the side of the lift where the tracks are, and the whole lift overhangs from that, which is very weird. Now let's take a look at the motor. Yes, that is the motor. These motors are usually used as replacements of express and Benny lift motors when lifts get modernised. I've never seen one at the top of the shaft as an MRL motor. That is just too weird. And look at the freefall handle on it. It's got a cable attached to the freefall handle, and that cable goes down to where the logic cabinet is, so you can actually freefall it from the cabinet. That is so weird. So let's start us off by freefalling this lift. So pull the freefall handle, up goes the lift. And now, as well as free-falling lift, you can also hand wind it, and this has to be the first MRL I've ever seen where you can actually hand wind it. And I wasn't quite able to work out how you do this. It seems a bit weird. You actually have this thing that you turn, which somehow hand winds it, then you've got up and down hand wind buttons to lock it, so you can only turn it one way. That is so odd. And usually MRLs, you can only freefall them, you can't hand wind them, which means if you get stuck on top of an MRL and the lift car's right at the top floor, you are screwed unless they put loads and loads of weight in the lift to make it free fall downwards, because you can't hand wind, you can only free fall in MRLs. This one you can actually hand wind. It's weird. And now another thing is the governor. This is using equipment which you usually see on lift modernisations of old express lifts, which have a motor room, like reset governor in the motor room. It doesn't have like your usual sort of MRL governor which doesn't need to be reset. So because it's using the sort of governor which you'd get on a lot older lift, the governor's at the top of the shaft because it's MRL. How would you reset it when it trips? Well, it actually has trip and reset buttons in the cabinet. That's too weird.
Such an interesting motor, look at that. That's beautiful, I like that. Yeah, press the trip. Wait, are you holding it? No. Yes, leave it tripped. And right, you see what it's doing here? Right. Basically, what's happening is this can no longer move backwards. As the governor moves, as you've seen, it ticks back and forth, and because that can't go backwards, this is pushing it, so it's stuck in that way. So it can't even click. So if it can't click backwards, it can't move either way. So if it's this is probably like.
So then, let's now surface lift.
I'll quick go up and have a look at this motor. Oh, what's this now? That's a shame. I like this. It's not as fast as it could be, is it?
Now, take a look at a logic again. Bog standard Thames Valley logic. And I'm not that keen on Thames Valley. And look at variable frequency drive is a blind variable frequency drive. So this is your bog standard crap. You see it all the time on modernised lifts. It is pretty boring. It's completely, utterly blind. So it's nothing intelligent here. It doesn't know what a lift's doing. It can't intelligently land lift. So it literally gets the signal start and it has a certain acceleration in it to speed up at the right rate. Then when it gets to a levelling stage, it slows down a levelling stage with the right settings. Then when it gets to that point, it then brings lift to an entire stop. Then actually slams on the brake and opens the doors. Which I don't like its design that much because it has a lot of time wasting to it. But this is your bog standard VF. And one good thing about it is you can reprogram it. So then, let's make it go full speed on inspection. Let's increase the acceleration from 2 seconds to 1 second. And let's reduce the pulsing frequency down to just 2000 hertz. So it makes a lot nicer sound. So then, let's now see what this lift's like after my lift improvements.
Over.